morning, ladies and gentlemen. Very warm welcome to Food Drinks Europe webinar on the plastic problem. Can we collect, recycle and sort enough?
In Europe today, we have a problem probably more with over-packaging than with too little packaging. I think that what we are discussing here today, though, is not whether packaging is necessary, but rather whether single-use plastic packaging is necessary and how much sense does it make from a resource management perspective.
In a lockdown, I ordered a small thing, 10 centimeters, and I got it in a box of 1/2 meter long and all other huge dimensions. And then you really see it. This is over packaging, clearly. The issue is, how do you put that in legislation?
2/3 of the people confirm that packaging affects their buying decision. In this regard, I think that it is obvious that we have to understand that packaging is essential, especially at the food industry, without compromising in terms of food safety and hygiene. But also, we would like to have your contribution, and it is important to have stakeholders' contribution in order to commit to reduce excessive packaging and to develop more efficient and circular packaging solutions, as well as to encourage initiatives like Circular Plastic Alliance and Plastic Pacts. It is important to go hand by hand, not only to have the proper legislation, but also to have the proper implementation and the engagement of the consumers in this regard.
If you just look at figures, plastics has a long way to go.
Last year, plastic recycling continues to be an economically marginal activity. And I would like to underline this. It is an economically marginal activity. And of course, there are a lot of reasons focusing on the diverse set of materials that we face in terms of recycling plastic. You know, it is poor availability, it is the low quality, it is the profitability of the plastic waste, which is very low. And in this regard, I think that we are facing in a lack of investments as well. A lack of investments in waste management infrastructure and in recycling technology. I think that the circular economy is the way for the EU and the European companies to remain competitiveness at the global market by providing recyclable plastics, by providing recyclable packaging, by providing reusable packaging. Therefore, I think that direct investments are needed to scale up the circular economy initiatives focusing on packaging. And it's not only the PET or the HDPE. I mean that we need more. We need greater investments in the development of recycling technology, and it is a key to achieve the EU circular economy targets.
We can mention the lack of collection, sorting and recycling infrastructure in some countries. Also that too much valuable plastic material is exported outside the EU. And all the discussion with the Basel Convention need to be tackled, reinforced, etc. It's a very important topic for the future. Sometimes also the limited access to recycling bin containers, the lack of consumer awareness. Also, I take all the points, the one after the other, but you have also the too low prices of virgin plastics, which give not the possibility to companies to buy recycled plastics because there is always a cost issue.
The market for recycled PET is not providing enough volumes for what the demand is in Europe. Yet, I would like to underline that in the current economic crisis, the recycled PET market is probably the only success in plastic recycling today. Is the only recycling sector in the plastics that is still profitable, and it's not profitable because of the price of recycled PET. I underline that it's profitable. Well, it's profitable. It's working because there's EU targets that actually put an obligation for recycled content of PET.
The main instrument we have on the subject of today is the Packaging and the Packaging Waste Directive. And there we are looking at a couple of things. The first one is to put up an enforceable definition of recyclable packaging. We most probably will go to a quite general definition, and then probably with some additional guidelines or list of negative and positive lists of what we would call recyclable. So this is ongoing. By the way, we are having, I don't know how many studies and associated stakeholder consultations on all these kind of aspects. We are looking as well if we could preserve some materials only for some applications. That would be, I think, very clear, a very good thing for recycling, but not all firms would be happy with this kind of thing. So we need to look at that. Some clear examples of, for instance, some compostable plastics only for very specific applications so that there are no cross-contamination could happen.
I come from Greece. We landfill approximately 80% of our waste. So it is important to increase rates. And to start with, I think that we have the proper legislation, but we have to go forward by doing something more, by harmonizing legal requirements for facilitating the economy of scale, especially on waste management. And of course, by having long-term investments, by using also sources coming from next generation in EU. The best incentive, according to my opinion, for the companies to use recycled materials in their products might be from a reputational standpoint rather than through increased regulation.
Concerning how to improve the recycling rates, particularly in food packaging, there are some very important things to say. First, we need to collect better quality. That is central, because if you collect very bad quality, you will never be able to use it further to reintegrate the plastic in other applications. So that is first. And how to do that? We need to increase research and development, particularly, for example, in enhanced recycling, such as chemical recycling. That is a topic that is brand new now, and that needs clearly to be improved in the coming years. And then, fundamental, the collaboration in the value chain. Yes, absolutely. I'm absolutely convinced that we will be there.
I think we have to do more. I think we have, first of all, to streamline the legislation and to monitor the implementation for every and each member state and region. It is important also to involve stakeholders and to encourage them to adapt best practices. As an example, I think that Nestlé is a pioneer in this regard on packaging, and I think that we have to follow best practices in this regard.
If by 2025 we already can have the packaging that is reusable or recyclable, I would like to see by 2030 is that all the packaging is recycled.
But we have no choice. We have to. This is part of the political ambition of the Commission as mentioned in the Green Deal. But we don't not only need to do it because some commissioners have put that in a document. We just have to do it because sustainability is not a choice. It is what we all have to do. Not just for the economy or for the environment, but for our own well-being.
A huge thanks to our panelists, and hopefully see you all again at the next Food and Drink in 5. Thanks guys, bye!